Hey folks, I don't know how you feel about Google. I love them personally and wish them all the best in taking over mine and your worlds. That's why we actually made this video about them recently, about getting on Google Hotel Search. You can find it right there. Now, while they're doing a terrific job at everything when it comes to figuring out, like, let's say, what film that clip is from, the fact is that Booking has taken the searching for a place to stay searches from Google in about 90% of cases. So it might be worth learning how to play their game a bit. The fact is that Booking wants a piece of the pie too, and there's no reason they shouldn't have some. Think of one as savory and the other as dessert, and something called the billboard effect is the menu. Ideally, if the chef is cooking right, everything goes down well together and no one goes home hungry. But you might say, waiter, what's the billboard effect and can I get some sauce on the side? In order to get the full picture, I'd recommend you head over to our culinary school at the Hotel Club and take the course on getting ready, or to stick to the metaphor, the main course. Anyway, I can give you the waiter's brief right now if you're interested. It's what happens when someone sees your hotel on Booking or another OTA and decides they'd rather book directly with you instead. This happens in roughly 70% of cases, but then in a good chunk of those cases, the hotels in question's websites are not well set up to receive direct bookings, so potential guests run right back into the welcoming arms of Booking. We're not here today to talk about setting up your website to hoover in the billboard rebound, though we've got our free courses on hotel website prep and building over at thehotelclub.com. No, today we want to talk about the first part of that exchange. Before you get the billboard effect off 70% or your booking reservation off those lazy 30% who prefer paying corporate to helping the little guy, you need to make sure you're visible to both groups. And to do that, you need to get busy playing booking ball. And don't worry, I'm here to teach you the rules. Rule number 1, ads.
Advertising is based on one thing: happiness.
Ads are one surefire way to get up the rankings. Now I say ads because that's how you'll know them, but Booking tends to build schemes around the concept, such as preferred partner or genius, though genius probably plays more in favor of the guest. Preferred partner is you paying for more visibility, and it has a reasonably good return on investment because you pay to get up the rankings, you get seen more, and you get booked more. Gone are the days of billboards and paying ads men to take a shot in the dark.
How about life is just a bowl of life cereal?
These can work or frankly not work depending on rating, which is more important. Partner costs an extra 3% on your commission, so if you fill up seasonably, it might not even be worth it. I say again, rating is more important. What Booking does is more like if someone enters a shop to buy Pepsi and the shopkeeper hides all the Pepsi behind Coca-Cola for you, you being Coca-Cola in this analogy, I'll be Fanta because the orange.
You serious?
Now if you're thinking, big whoop, he's advised me to throw money at my problem, stop right there, and how dare you big whoop me?
How dare you?
I just said it's something you can do. And you can, but you can also do a bunch of other things that will help you, and sure enough, if you combine them with paid ads, well, paid partnership, they'll do better. But if you do them well enough, they could be enough on their own. First, photos. You need to update your photos at least twice a year, and that's that. Even if it's only a different angle of your lobby or your honeymoon suite with different sheets, it doesn't matter. Why? Because Booking penalizes inactivity, much like my old grandmother. Here's my advice. Pick a date in your calendar and another 6 months away, and make sure in or around those dates you undertake to have all the photos on your website and on Booking updated.
July the 19th. Why does that strike me as important?
It's photo day is what. Now next up, your first photo needs to have a hook, by which I don't mean a good looking room with a reasonable price, though it would help if that came soon after. I mean the hospitality photography of it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Exactly. With less implied violence, maybe. I'm not even joking, by the way. I defy anyone to turn off that movie after an opening line like that. I bet some of you are thinking of watching it right now. Watch this first. You want the equivalent of the Goodfellas opening for your photo slideshow on Booking. You need to think, how can I hook them? Hook who? Your people, your segments, your avatar. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head over to the Hotel Club and dip your toes in our free revenue management course. But for now, allow me to give you a crash course.
Wax on, wax off.
Don't forget to breathe.
Your avatars are fictional but accurate approximations of the typical kinds of people you get in your hotel and you want in your hotel. Making some up are a good way to figure out your marketing strategy. Let's say you figure all your types of people would like to chill on your lawn with a Pimm's cocktail. Then why not open with a picture of your lawn with a member of your staff serving a person of your most marketable age group a cocktail of pins while they're reading the news. Having people, guests and staff, is important too because it helps your potential guests imagine themselves relaxing on your property. And the storytelling aesthetics don't stop there. Variety is the spice of life, so don't let your photos slip into the banality of your average hotel corridor. If you show the lobby, then show a room, and then before the next room, show the front porch. Whatever it takes to keep them flicking. This is just so the potential guests see everything you'd like them to see. Well, it's not just that, it's definitely that too. If they think all the next photos will simply be rooms, they'll consider the brochure flicked through and move on. No, the main reason it's because the further a guest flicks through your photos, the more booking registers that guests seem to like the look of it, and the higher booking will rank it.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me.
Just a couple of things to remember. It mentioned already, but I'll say it again. Wherever possible, have people in the photos. Guests, staff, whoever. Next, new photos go first in your slideshow automatically. Whenever you upload something new, double check if it's where you'd like it to be in the slideshow. Third, and most important, hire a photographer. I don't care what phone you have, and I don't care what your hobby is, hire one. This, no exaggeration, is the difference between the average amateur photographer's output and that of the average pro. See that, guys? Don't go snapping your own lobby and don't ask Annie Leibovitz to check in the Reynolds family next weekend. You stick to yours, let her stick to hers. Now, I've mentioned ranking. You can get ranked nice and high by having a page people interact a lot with, but you also need people to rate you highly. Now, before we go on, let me just say this. If you want to play the booking game, you need to be obsessed with getting a good rating. By good, I mean 9 out of 10 at a minimum, and that's not negotiable. The advantage that Booking has over something like TripAdvisor is the only way someone can leave a review is if they've actually stayed at your place. And as I've said before in these videos, if you're this far into one of these videos, I've no doubt you care about your job and work hard and leave very little wiggle room, but for leaving positive reviews. And that's that. That said, as I'm sure you know, there'll always be bad ones. Lucky for us, there's rules to this game too. So when it comes to ranking well on Booking from reviews, the trick is, apart from getting good reviews of course, is to get a lot of reviews and to reply to all of them, good, bad, and ugly. For this, you'll need to set some time aside or some time of one of your staff, if writing isn't your cup of tea, once a day maybe, and write back to everyone. The bad ones are nearly more important because they tend to require some detail in what you write. One great tool that's just arrived is ChatGPT, an AI language program that if you input the correct instructions, it will write you your replies for you. We've made a whole video about AI and its capabilities in hospitality, which you can link to right here. Anyway, the replying in public shows a degree of integrity and respect for your public that looks good to your potential guests. Plus, the interaction on your page will boost your ranking in Booking's eye.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Also, if you find yourself in need of a few more good reviews, just ask. Be transparent. Say it's the only way to get more bookings, to get people to book direct, and if you're dedicated enough to be watching a video on Booking rankings, something tells me you're doing a good enough job that your guests will say no problem and drop you a 10.
So hot right now.
Next up is your description. Now, Booking writes one for you, but chuck that in the can. They don't know how to tell your story. You're going to write one to your customers, to the Pimm's people, and tell them why they need to come now. Just a couple of notes on this. Firstly, it needs approval, so be mindful what you write. Second, no linking directly to your website. Big no-no. Now, there is a clever workaround for this, but I'm not going to bring it up here as there's a few too many steps. But if you head over to the Hotel Club and take our course on increasing website traffic, we'll show you something pretty special. Now, I'm going to wind this up by telling you a few little ditties that Booking has in their toolbox that are yours to use if you're listed and will get you ranked a little higher if you use them. Firstly, non-refundable pricing. Now, this is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a guaranteed fee even if someone cancelled. Guaranteed by Booking. Nice folks that they are. The only thing is it needs to be lower than your other prices on the site. Now, Booking have their own motivations on this score, but don't let those concern you. You need to maintain the best available rate on your site. So what do? You set a high price on Booking, your non-refundable less than that, a high enough price on your site, the same as the non-refundable, and then a promotional price on your website that more or less evens out whatever the non-refundable would be minus the commission, okay? Replay that if you need to. That way you are using a booking service so you rank higher and you are guaranteeing that any of the 70% of potential customers that go looking to book directly can get the best price on your site. One thing to remember though, only offer non-refundable rates in periods of low demand. If demand is up, you want to be able to charge what you want. Actually, this is the same with any promo on an OTA. Low season, limited time, and if possible, limited to 1 or 2 rooms. You're taking advantage of a booking service will stand to you in certain ways. Better visibility due to higher ranking, for example, but there's no guarantee that it will help your rating. My advice would be choose a KPI, aim to hit something reasonable but impactful, and once you get there, cut it off. Now guys, if you enjoyed this video, there's a whole lot more like it on the channel. So like, follow, share, and of course, head over to the Hotel Club and subscribe to our newsletter to keep up with all the exciting things happening over there. See you next time.